beautiful souls. It's AMA Wednesdays, which means that you can ask Maitreya anything. If you would like to take part, just submit your questions in this video comments. All you need to do is just write the words after you have asked your question. Just write the words, "I give permission," because depending on the question, we may go into the energy field of the question asker. So we're going to start today's Q&A. So the first question that we have is, how can one change their relationship with money? Okay, so for this particular person who is asking this question, you see, the block with money is coming from their solar plexus, and it is coming from their throat. Now, what does this mean? Well, this simply means that there is a communication issue around this topic, money, and it does feel very sensitive because the lack of money is affecting this person's identity, how they're relating to the world, but also interacting in the world. So let's just stay here for a second. So you want to know how you can change your relationship with money. Now, these two places, if you can just focus, and what we mean by focus is just simply forming a practice where you bring all of your energy, attention, and focus into your solar plexus, okay? And you allow yourself to sit here. And you can place a hand on this part of your body and just notice what comes up and what you feel when the word money is spoken of, when you see the word money and its letters in your field, in your vision. How does it make you feel? That's going to give you the answer there, okay? So stay with that and work on your communication with yourself and others around this topic. And this is going to help greatly with you around either bringing more money into your reality, but it's more about harmonizing the vibration around this particular subject and the word itself, more harmony. When we can reach a vibrational equilibrium with the word money, when we see it, when someone speaks about it, when we are paying for goods, when we are purchasing goods, okay? When we start having a healthier relationship with money, the vibrations within ourselves that we have either been programmed with, we have been taught about, or whether we have just picked it up from individuals around us as we were growing up, those will start taking a different form. That's what we want. We want to alter the energy of what once wasn't quite in line with the line of truth, okay? When will Earth enter the golden period and how? Okay, so let's just see. You see, the earth plane has already moved into it, has already taken shape and form into the new consciousness. Many people are already living in the new earth. So it has already begun, dear ones. And all that is affecting those that are unable to either tune in and live fully embodying this new consciousness is their own programs. It is your own level of consciousness, okay? And this is understanding your own beliefs about where you are, but also your own spiritual journey. Because when one is asking about the golden period, of course, there is a wanting, there is even an urge, a longing for this great time to take shape. It's already here, dear ones. It's just that it's not something that it's gonna, you click your fingers. That's too drastic for people. People's consciousness on earth will not be able to handle such shifts. If you just think about your grandparents or the generation before your grandparents, and how way of life, technology, the way we eat, all the elements that constitute to a well-lived life. If you start from that generation and you look at where you are now, it's drastic, the change. Many people cannot hold such vibration in their bodies, so they check out, they leave. It's too much. They don't want to get involved. If you just look at technological advancements, many generations aren't involving themselves because it's too much for their consciousness. Now, if we clicked our fingers and you just propelled into the golden period, that would create chaos if your own vibrational body has not prepared itself for it. So what we are saying to you, dear one, is that in order to attune and to align yourself with the consciousness of the golden period, which is already available to you, you must seek within yourself the vibrations that no longer match such state. And that is a high frequency, okay? In order to be in the new consciousness, look at yourself, look at your thoughts, your beliefs, the way you communicate, the way you speak, the way you are interacting. What are you putting inside of your body? How true are you to yourself? You know, because each change, when we are speaking of change, we are speaking of those changes at a micro level. It's the micro changes that matter, because when one moves in such drastic, heavy footsteps, you can be sure that they're going to come crashing back down to where they first began, because it's too drastic. So micro steps will allow vibrations to settle, which means adjustments to higher frequencies. This is exactly what is happening on the earth plane and what has been happening over the last few years. But as we continue in this momentum, the rate, the speed of change, which is happening now, right here, right now, is going to be very fast. And it's in order for you to understand yourself, to see yourself clearly, so you can keep up with the frequencies. If you don't keep up, dear ones, you'll get pulled down to your old ways, which is rigidity, which is inflexibility, and you will just stay in the lower fields and programs of a reality that is heavy and that many would rather not be in, but often comfort drives people to stay in lower frequencies because it's what they were used to. And if you have been there for a long period of time, even more so to stay. It's what you know, okay? There will be destruction on earth by natural calamities. Is this true? Yes. We've already done a forecast of the calamities that are taking place in this time-space reality as we are bringing through our words of communication, this transmission. Calamity is happening everywhere in the world, on the earth plane, in your dimension. Listen to the transmission that we have already provided for you, because that's going to give you an understanding of what is happening right now on the earth plane and why it is happening. Right now we are in the third dimension. Are we entering into the fifth? So this is similar, okay, to the golden period in terms of shifting into different frequencies. And of course, the more light you hold in the body, the higher you can ascend. But that takes work on the individual level, first and foremost. And then, as the knock-on effect hits the masses, then the collective consciousness can rise together. But first, in order to shift, and there are many beings on the earth plane who have already ascended to the fifth. They are already living in the fifth dimensional space. And if you are tinkering in the 3D reality and you want to ascend, the only work is the work as you gaze at the reflection of oneself in the mirror. Change, as we have already said, is readily available to you. It is here for you. It's the looking within, making the shifts so that you can adjust your own vibrational frequency to match what it is that your heart desires. It's there. How can I stop getting in my own way? So let's just see what we have going on here for this particular question. And you see, in order for you to get out of your own way, you got to get comfortable with where you are now, because the energy within you often becomes unstable, erratic, and it wants to move out of the body. So it's being comfortable in your own body. And why is that important, to be comfortable in your own body? When one is able to stay inside of the body rather than the ruminations of the mind and the taking away of self from the vessel, when you are taken away by thought streams, when you move your energy into the past timelines, or when you propel yourself into the future where there's a lot of angst, there is anxiety, there is worry, there is fear, there's the unknown. Many people are unsettled in the unknown. That's why they shy away from change. But change is one of the catalysts that allows us to see more, to be more, to do more. It's part of the Trinity. Yes, to get out of your own way, you got to start getting comfortable in your body. When one becomes comfortable inside of their own flesh, inside of the vehicle, it means that you can then start allowing the stream of consciousness of pure creation, pure source, its unconditional love. When that is able to move through you, it often brings about a drastic emotional response, because even that energy can be overwhelming because it's been untouched. Start being okay with the right here, right now, with where you are, dear one. Just stay here. There's nowhere to be. There's nowhere to go. You are just here. And when you are okay with being just here inside of this body, without the mind and the inner voice, the inner critic, speaking of and about the body and self, then you free up the spaces for that stream of consciousness, for purity to enter. And in that place, what starts happening, if you can hold that comfort for long enough to stabilize your own self in your own body, you start going through a cleansing process, which can be uncomfortable because it's making space. There's a settling and adjustment period. It's a little bit like washing your dirty laundry. When you've got a pile of dirty laundry, you don't want to put those clothes on. It's dirty, it's going to be uncomfortable. But when it goes into the washing machine and it starts its cycle, starts cleansing, it doesn't happen immediately. It takes time. So you let it be. You let the machine do it what it needs to. And there's going to be some rumbling. There's going to be different modes happening, different temperatures of water coming in. And as you start enabling that, when that cycle finishes, well, look what you have. Clean clothes. When you put those on, it feels good. It requires patience, dear one. So, start getting comfortable with self, okay? We're going to leave it there. If you guys would like to join next week's Q&A, AMA Wednesday, drop your question in the comments below of this video. Questions must be submitted in the comments of the AMA video so that we can see them. And remember to just write the words "I give permission." As we mentioned, that just allows us, if needed, to check in on maybe a specific energy field and go a little bit deeper in that question. And we thank you guys for being here. If you enjoy today's session, give us a like, give us some feedback in the comments, and we send you love and blessings.